Hi, dreamers! Get nice and cozy. Life is tough, but we're growing together. Late Night Growth Talks.
Hi, dreamers! Welcome to another episode of Late Night Growth Talks, getting a sneak peek on how young, successful people in our society grew along the way. You may know him from being the South Florida Louder Than a Bomb poetry indie finalist and his insane talent in the spoken word, the poetic and talented Devin Modia. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm honored to be
I'm
here.
so honored that you decided to come. He drove from Palmetto, y'all.
It's
and we're in Doral.
Yeah, I gotta deal with the Miami drivers.
I think that's crazy how you
Right.
do that. Honestly, I respect it. I
Thank
really
you,
respect
thank
it.
If you could drive here, you could drive anywhere.
Honestly, I
Okay.
feel like everything's around like 30 minutes away.
Right. Well, it says that on Apple Maps, and you get on the road and it changes to
It's
like.
not. It depends. It depends on like rush hour too. Like
Right.
I've had it like where it's like 30 minutes and it's like 5 o'clock and you're like, no.
Right, exactly.
No.
Miami to Miami is an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I wanted to thank you for being here again.
Of
Like,
course.
thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure.
also, I wanted to make sure that you knew, like, I already know that you got the invite.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, like, what the different sections are? Like, I can totally revamp it for you if you want. Like, reiterate.
It hit me.
Okay, got you. So, it's 3 different sections. So, we're going to split it up, kind of getting to know you better. Like, the whole Devin Modia, like, effect, you know? We're going to have the root, the climb, and the dream. So, the root is talking about, like, where you come from, your family, all of, like, the kind of, like, who you are at the root. And the climb is talking about how you overcame different challenges, habits, and how you cope through things. And then the dream is like what your end goal manifestation is, like
Awesome.
what you see for your life, like the best possible scenario.
I love it. Yeah.
So we're gonna start with the root. So the root, like I said, is just talking about who you are, like super basic, tradition, like who your family is, all of that. So the root. So what does your family layout look like, and what does family mean to you?
My family layout is kind of, I'd say a little divided.
Okay.
I have like my girlfriend, my other cousins, their families all get together. Mine, I have 2 separate Christmas celebrations and all that, but everybody's supportive. I don't know what I'd do without my mom. I think she's the reason I started this whole poetry thing, because I first initially joined her club. And
I saw that your mom was your coach.
Right.
Like, that was so cute.
She's
how
a
that
sponsor for
worked.
the club and all that, and
That's
she's
so
the one who connected me with the people we know and everything, and yeah.
That's awesome. So, in your family, it's your mom and who else?
My dad and my sister, little sister.
Cute. I love how much younger is she?
She's a year and a half.
Oh, so it's like you guys are pretty close. in age.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sisters and I I have 2 sisters. We're
Mhm.
all super, super close in age.
Oh,
like
yeah.
less than a year apart.
Okay, so you all
So
went to
we're all,
high school
like,
together. And
Yeah,
everything?
yeah,
Okay,
we went,
cool.
no, it's pretty cool. But I'm really glad that like your family's like tight knit like that.
Yeah.
If you could describe yourself as a kid in 3 words, what would they be and why?
In 3 words.
In 3 words.
Perceptive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's cliche, but persistent.
Okay, cute.
And energetic.
You're really energetic?
I was energetic as a kid. Yeah.
Okay, so like why would you say this?
I love basketball. I still love basketball. I always go out and play basketball with my friends. That energetic.
Love it.
Perceptive. My parents would describe me as a kid as always, instead of hanging out with the people like my cousins and everything, I would sit at the adult table and they would always kick me out and everything. Right.
They would kick you
I
out?
always think of
That's so mean.
They would make me leave. I'll go back to the kids' table.
That is so mean.
I know. I say the same
That
thing.
is so mean.
Yeah. And persistent, I guess.
Like you were really, really like focused on what you wanted.
Right.
I like that. That's beautiful.
Passionate.
Super passionate. I love it.
Mm.
So throughout your childhood, this is like a little bit of a deeper question, but I like how like people respond to it.
Okay.
And then I have a question after that. So throughout your childhood, did you ever think of yourself as an outsider or an insider? And how do you think it impacted you today? Because I know my answer.
Outside.
Outsider?
Outside.
How come?
I don't know. I've always had this kind of self-inhibiting mindset. I feel like I don't always fit in, so I kind of reflect that in my writing.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's true or not. Maybe more of an outsider. I feel like it makes me more artistic.
That's good.
Right.
That's good. And I feel like sometimes when I feel like most of the people, like I always like, because I felt like I'm definitely like outsider,
Yeah.
like for sure. Like I was always the type that like I feel like the most successful people are the ones that are like the outsiders,
don't fit in.
the weird ones. Like, but I also feel like sitting at the adult table and also like because you seem also very mature for your age.
I appreciate
like
that.
you probably got that for like when you were younger, right? Like people
Right.
saying that you're like Devin's really mature.
Yeah.
Like did you ever get that?
They kept kicking me out and kept coming back.
So did you ever? So your parents ever tell you?
They tell me that.
No, yeah. So I feel like most kids that are also grow up like super mature, or like or like feel off, like you can't really relate to like the people that like you're around, like you're the fellow like 7-year-olds, and you're like, oh, everyone's like eating grass.
You
and you're like trying to sit and have like an adult conversation like with the adults, so it's like interesting. No, so I really think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But how do you think it's impacted you like today?
I think now I step back more. Think about what I want before I do it. Definitely learn from other people's mistakes. I feel like that phrase is very important. Learning from other people's mistakes.
I believe that.
So you don't make them yourself.
You know something that my dad always says? He says, it's cheaper to learn from other people's mistakes.
See, that's
Yeah.
very well said.
Yeah, it's feel like my dad says that all the time. He's that type of person.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely like better to learn from other people's mistakes. I feel like I don't know, it's just good to pick up on stuff when you're young.
Right.
Like so you don't it's like you don't have to like first of all you have the time to make the mistakes. You have like the stamina, the health, you have like all of this, like that you wouldn't have if you're like 30 and all these people that are like basically not focusing on like the little details now and then go off and do like and regret all of their like time that they wasted.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Your environment shapes you, but you don't have to become it.
Okay, Mr. Poet. Do you see this? That's awesome. Last question. So how did poetry find its way into your life? Well, besides your mom?
Yeah.
Is it just your mom, or do you feel like there was like some poet that you like fell in love with first?
I think the first time I ever wrote something down was when I got a keyboard for Christmas. And it was this kid's keyboard. So
I feel like every kid got that.
Right.
Every single one. I got one.
Well, I was the only one who was obsessed with it then.
Okay, cute.
Because I would write songs to it and everything. And then I showed my mom, she's like, okay, no, let me show you this. And she introduced me to a poet. I don't know if you're familiar, Asia Sampson. Asia Sampson. Asia Sampson. He's a very world-renowned poet. He's traveled and performed.
Because the name sounds familiar. But
I've had the honor of working with him a couple times.
You've worked with him?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was intimidating. That was intimidating.
You were like...
Right. I'm like, oh, I'm in a room with this guy. How do I... Because I was before him. How do I set the bar for him? I don't know. And that's definitely, if I had to pick a poet, it would be him. But
that is so cool.
My mom first.
How old were you when you got to work with him?
I was 13.
Oh, so not that long ago.
No.
Oh, that's like, because you were how old?
18.
So like 5 years ago. So that was a while ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but you were young. 13 is really young.
I was the first middle schooler
and he was
to
like, and he was a grown man.
Yeah.
That's really intimidating.
Yeah, right. I'm here doing a show with them. I had a leather jacket on because I thought it was cool at the time.
Oh my god, a 13-year-old with a leather jacket.
Right, exactly, yeah. It's definitely an era.
No, it's cute. Right. I love that. Okay, awesome. So now we're moving on to the next section. That was so fast. I think you and our last guest, Ryan, were like the two that are like super, super concise with their questions. With their answers. And so like you're doing really well. It's not a bad thing at all.
No.
It's usually
okay.
Yeah, for me. Because I said. Okay, so the next session is the climb. So just to like kind of like re-explain. So it's talking about like how you manage your habits, your like main motivations, how you cope, like stuff like that. So now getting into the climb. So as I mentioned before, you're a poet. What emotions come up that you think you need an outlet for that poetry provides you?
An emotion.
Like what emotions or what energy comes up that you feel like you need to have an outlet that poetry gives you? Or do you feel like you just have it as like, because of course, like I think poetry is like creative expression. What do you feel is like something that like comes up that makes you want to write or fuels you to write?
Without giving a common answer of anxiety, because that's a big one. I'm gonna say dread.
What do you mean?
So people my age specifically are, and this is my common topic in my writing right now. Going off to college.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not alone in the idea that I'm scared of it.
You're going somewhere for college?
Yeah.
Become?
Florida State.
Florida State.
Yeah. Going north.
Okay.
Right.
For what?
Finance. And then entertainment law. Yeah. It's an idea.
That's really cool. I hope that you do well there.
Right.
Because I went there before.
Mm-hmm.
The culture is very party-esque.
Right.
So I hope you take care of yourself.
No, we're being smart, studious. Right.
Guys.
Kids, listen. Studious.
Beautiful. Okay, that's awesome. So going back, so what do you think is like? So of course, like you said, dread. Mm. So is that like the main emotion that comes up in your poetry that like makes you want to write?
Just nervousness, not being afraid to be who you are. Mm-hmm. So the page becomes the person you want to be. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like that's something we all have to overcome, but I feel like poetry is the perfect outlet for it.
It's beautiful. I love that. I feel like I'm also like a very anxious person. Mm-hmm. I definitely have anxiety. Like that's like a thing for me. Like I've always.
What's an example
of like how I'm anxious?
Right. Like checking the door to see if it's locked a bunch of times.
No, that's like OCD.
I feel like
that's like OCD mostly.
Yeah.
I think anxiety like it comes with a lot of imposter syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Like it comes with either like imposter syndrome or worried of like I have like it's like kind of like control issues where you try to control things that you can't control because you want the future to turn out in a certain way.
Right.
And I feel like it also came like because I'm also like I talked to one of my friends about this because we all grew up in gifted.
Oh, okay.
So with gifted, you're put on like such this like perfectionist like pedestal that like you can't like fail. So then with me, like when I started having like people witnessing me fail. Or like if people saw that I was like not having a good day, that like really got me. Really? Where I would be like, I hated people seeing me like not do well at something. Like I could deal with like by myself, like dealing with like me not being good at something. But if it was like someone else that saw me like mess up or like it would give me anxiety, especially if I don't know you super well. Right. And in a professional setting, that would like give me crazy anxiety.
Yeah, I feel like that's
and like perception too.
Yeah, I feel like that's a tough pet peeve.
It's tough, but also it's something that I'm like working on because also like I know like that I can't control what other people feel and like think about me, but it's also just like I just get anxious because it's like even with work, like things will just be out of your control. Yeah,
and especially as a server.
That gets me. As a server?
Especially as a server.
My work doesn't give me that much anxiety.
No. Oh wow.
Because I feel like it allows me, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that I do is very mentally taxing. Mm-hmm. Like it's very intellectual, so it's like all living up in here. Right. And serving is very like, it's very laid out. And like if people are mean, it's like, okay, great, I'm paid. So at least because with me, like it's like at least in like the restaurant that I work in, like everything's like tip included.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Best place to work.
Yeah, it's really great.
Tipping culture is a little scary right now, so.
Oh wow, that's really bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but that's really cool though. Yeah. No, but yeah, I definitely have anxiety.
You should have written poetry.
I feel like I do other things. Like I have different things like this, and then I like having projects, and I like doing other things and like hobbies. I also like going to the gym, which is nice, okay. And that helps. Right. And yeah.
That's healthy.
Yeah. So I also have like a very like I like slow mornings. Do you know what slow mornings are?
Refresh me.
Okay, so it's like journaling and like doing a little stretch. Okay. And like making your bed and like starting the morning slow, and it's really good for like mental hygiene. Right. And then it's like the same when I go to sleep, and it's like I do like magnesium. I like have like a little like cup of juice with magnesium. It's really good. And then I do that, and then I journal and I read, and I'm off my phone, and like. Yeah. Awesome. So you start the day accomplishing something, and end the day accomplishing something. Yeah, and it's clean, and it's very like not on my phone because I hate being. I like forbid it, like being in my bed with my phone. I hate it. So you don't when you wake up. That's not the first thing you do. I don't touch it. Really? No. I go downstairs and I literally like Malika gets so like she has seen it where I told her like I do it and she's like that's so healthy.
Right.
No, but yeah, I don't touch it until like I literally go downstairs, probably eat my breakfast, and then I'll go check it.
I wish I had your willpower. That's awesome.
You automatically check your phone?
I mean, well, besides turning off my alarm, I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on today.
I have a separate alarm clock.
No, you have an alarm clock.
An alarm clock, so I don't do that.
That's cool.
In the 21st century?
No, I have a separate alarm clock that's like for the deaf. Like it's like a crazy alarm clock.
So it's loud. It's like
no, yeah, and it's also loud. Fuck. It's also like I also have it on like away, so I can't like ignore it too. Like I have a bunch of healthy habits.
So you have to get up.
I have to get up and go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's smart. You should write a book.
But this is like done before. I'm not like the first one that does this.
No, I just feel like we all need to re-pick up that habit.
No, yeah, guys, have your phone away.
Right.
Like away.
And then your alarm clock away too.
It's so bad. It's so bad. No, but yeah, I try to really maintain like my brain cleanliness a lot. Like a lot. Because I know that I do have anxiety.
Are you familiar with the dopamine detox?
What is that?
Well,
it sounds familiar, but like, what are you meaning?
So it's like you spend a week stopping short bursts of dopamine. So getting off Reels, getting off TikTok.
All I really do on social media right now is like post.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
No doom scrolling or.
No, I try really hard not to.
Yeah.
Because then you find yourself like 2 hours later in like a haze.
In the same spot. Yeah.
No, in a haze. Like, have you ever gotten up and you're like, oh,
like what's going on?
And then when you get out, like your focus is so off. Like you forget things.
I mean, because your brain is so numb the whole time.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've been trying to like fully cut that.
It's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Even though like I post on Reels, so it's like I like suck other people's brains.
Well, yeah, okay. You're contributing to it. You're not affected by it.
So that's horrible. It's like the big tobacco companies. It's like I don't smoke.
Right.
It's the worst.
But you should.
But like I do it for a good cause, guys. It's okay. So
yeah, she's helping people.
No, we're out here. But yeah, so we're gonna get into like more deep questions because this is like the section where like each part is gonna get like a little more gritty.
Okay.
This is like the middle gritty part.
Okay, cool.
Like with one of our last guests, she like went into like the nitty gritty and she was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So just get ready.
Okay.
Like seatbelt. Yeah.
Stump me.
So yeah. Okay, so you mentioned once in a poem, like the one that I think I watched. It was the one talking about your best friend.
Okay.
Okay. So you mentioned once in your poem that you and your best friend were like, this is like funny, but like we're gonna also go back to this one. But I'm telling you, it's gonna get like warmer. So you mentioned once in a poem that you and your best friend were never like the cream of the crop in school. Now do you feel like self-image impacted like your experience in school? Or like do you feel like your self-image like of like how you physically looked like bothered you in school?
100%.
Also, you said you had a girlfriend.
I do.
You have a girlfriend and you said you were the cream of the crop in school?
I wasn't back then.
Was I? So bad. Did you like have like a glow up?
Man, I told you about the leather jacket. I had my hair down to here. It was bad. It was bad. I got called names. I'm not gonna lie. I got called names, and I was short too.
Were you bullied in school?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Thank God! I was just talking to my boyfriend about that.
Yeah.
Like how bullied. Like I think if I didn't get bullied, it would have been like I wouldn't like I needed it for like growth.
That's exactly what I tell people. Right.
I really needed it. It was so
I wouldn't have learned to step up for myself. I told myself, oh, that would never happen to me, and it didn't. I think that's why we started going to the gym. That's why we started putting ourselves out there more. Yeah.
So how do you feel like? So do you feel like your physicality like did impact you in school, or like you just didn't care? You're just like because I feel like even with me, because I got like bullied for like how I looked all the time. Because also like I hit puberty really late. Like it was like the end of 8th grade when I hit puberty.
Oh,
so like it was super like weird, and I was like in this super yucky awkward phase.
Right.
And I feel like with like I had friends that understood me, so I didn't care as much. And I feel like even like just having like one really good friend, like while you're getting like bullied, like when people are like bullying the hell out of you, like it makes a difference.
Yeah, having somebody to go to.
Did that happen to you, or like did you feel like?
Yeah, for sure.
Like you feel like you didn't care, like.
No, I definitely cared. I think me being bullied made it that much harder for me to make friends. I feel like I feel like I've talked about this perspective with people before, but I had to try harder to put myself out there. I had to try harder to communicate with people, and I definitely see that kind of person now. I'm like, I communicate my feelings. I talk about it. I stand up for myself, and I'm not saying bullying's a good thing.
Oh, it's not.
It's not.
It's so bad.
Definitely
it's
not.
Horrible.
We don't condone it.
No, we don't condone it.
But did I learn from it? Did we learn from it?
We did.
We learned from it.
You know, it's something that I said because I remember I was mentioning it with my boyfriend, and he was talking about he was asking me about because I was talking about bullying, and he was saying I couldn't imagine getting bullied in middle school because he was just always the quiet kid,
right?
So he never really got bullied, but he was just quiet, no one really bothered him, you know? But with me, I told him I feel like bullying gave me how do you say it? It made me have to be so sure about who I was, you know, because it's because also I was getting bullied for things that were so out of my control, you know what I mean? So and then also they were horrible too, everyday type, horrible. So it was the type of thing where it's you have to reaffirm to yourself that you're worth something, and that got so deep. Oh my god, guys.
Yeah, that's
no, but you have to be you have to be so sure about that you're lovable, and that you are who you are despite what all of these people are constantly telling you to your face.
Wow.
That's the best way I could say it. Because if everyone's telling you that you suck, or that you're ugly, or that you're not worth something because of some physical attribute that you can't control, you really have to tell yourself all the time to oh, you know what, screw them, I'm this person, and then you have to do that when you're getting this pushback. So I feel that's the best thing that came. So now I'm I know who the hell I am.
Right. It helped you find yourself.
Yeah, and you have to be really sure about it.
Right.
Yeah, and then all of them are ugly now. So
yeah, all of them
are so ugly. So ugly. If y'all are watching this. Anyway, so we're gonna move on. Okay. So getting back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you come up with your poetry concepts? What comes to mind? You already mentioned dread and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
What else comes?
This is gonna sound corny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go with probably me being a love poet. Poems.
Cute.
Right. I told you I wrote one for my girlfriend, but I was always a reserved kid, so I would write love poems, and that would be my way of kind of giving it to them.
You know what's so funny? My mom thought you were the cutest thing ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was just he's so cute. Is he why are these girls not snatching him up? Because the thing is, when you said you were the cream of the crop, I assumed you were single, and I'm are these girls in the poetry club not understanding what's going on right now? This cutie kid. My mom was going off about how cute you were. Why is no one going after you? Yeah. She was the one that waved you over and was you could tell my mom was very sweet.
Yeah.
But she's super energetic that way. But she was just why are these girls scooping up Devin? But your girlfriend did.
Right.
Or did you scoop her up?
It was a team effort.
It was a team effort. Yeah. I want to hear more about that later. But tell me about your concepts.
Just, I don't know, I shifted from being a love poet to more of using love as a personification. So
how do you personify love?
That's yeah. I said the phrase, but now that she puts it like that. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
For people who want to be a writer out there.
Mm-hmm.
A poem from a table to a picture frame. How a table loves a picture frame, and you can write a poem for that. So that's kind of how I said
that gave me chills. The fact that you can even say also just the way you say it, I can't.
The poetry.
That was really, really good. No, I remember you do have the poetry voice, and I think the thing that was so impressive about poets is just the timing.
Right.
I think the timing is so
it's meticulous.
It's so meticulous, and also the way that you guys and your diction is so important.
Yeah.
And just the little details, your body manners, your body the mannerisms. The diction, everything, and how you guys made it into this masterpiece, and also remembering everything while getting washed is so impressive.
Somebody notices.
Huh?
Somebody notices.
No, hello.
Right,
It's
yeah.
hard.
Well, you were there. You were judging.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the one getting the crap from the crowd
Why was I getting crap?
because nobody likes the judges.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, because it was so funny because Seth is the one that was because a lot of the Nabam is organized with the Jason Taylor Foundation. Jason Taylor was a former Miami Dolphins player, but he also coaches for Canes for UM. And Seth is the executive director of the nonprofit organization, like his nonprofit. And Seth was constantly saying that I was going to be like the meanest judge, and he always says that to the nicest judge.
Oh, okay.
Like he said that he was giving me crap the whole time.
Really?
He's just like, oh, Dad, it's gonna be so nasty, it's like so mean, and I'm like, Seth.
Yeah, I don't see that in you at all.
No, and then I was like literally like falling off my chair. I was like, no, it was crazy. So in like the concept of like love poems, you mainly come off of just like the connection between two things, and then that's how you usually start.
Right.
Okay.
And so when you write or when I write, you're familiar with wordplay?
Yeah.
Right. So you use
I
wordplay.
was thinking of like the dumb like word app.
Right.
Wordplay. Okay, but
That game's fun.
no, but I also know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That also clicks.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Wordplay. You can rhyme. I try not to. You can rhyme, phrasing, whatever. But I try to start the poem how I end it.
Okay.
So I have my favorite.
I remember that with your poem, the
Right.
one that I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started my poem with, I saw my friend the other day. I ended the poem with, I saw my friend the other day. That's how I started
No,
the
I
poem.
loved it.
I did the
loved
first
that
line and the last line, and I connected them.
That was so good. My boyfriend was sobbing, by the way.
He was there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like next to me because he
Yeah.
just went through a really crazy fight with his best friend.
Really?
He was sobbing. Like he was like crying.
You want to hear something that I hope won't disappoint you?
What?
That poem isn't about me.
It's not about you.
It's about my dad.
You're joking!
It's my dad. It's about my
Oh my
dad.
god.
My name is Devin Jesse Modia. Jesse was his best friend, so I wrote a poem.
And that was the friend that passed
That
away.
was a friend that passed away. And that was them. That was their story.
Oh my god, I was about to ask you.
So he cries every time he hears it.
Because you do a really beautiful job.
I try.
Like you hit. Like even when you say it, it's like, oh, the closest thing. And also the way that like, I think the thing that really got me is when you started using all of like the different metaphors and similes, talking about like the comparison of like the iconic duos, like Batman, Robin, or how
Dwayne and Braun.
yeah, like all of that. And
Michael
also talking
Scott.
about how they used to play basketball and it all connected. And the way you did it in that way where it's like even talking about like the relationship between guys and like how they don't talk. Like,
Right.
like and you're just like, oh, like whatever, like we'll have it, what is it, like a handshake?
A firm handshake.
A firm handshake, and
Yeah.
that's how you guys get each other. And it was like, it's just, it was so detailed and like, and I was so hooked like the whole time. That's so sad that it wasn't about you though. Well, actually not sad because then you
Well,
lost a friend.
I think I share a.
That sounded so horrible, guys.
No,
I'm
no,
not saying that.
I know what you mean.
I know, but like it was just. But I thought like you made it seem like you lost your best friend.
Because that's what I was seeing. Like you go through life like is seeing the effect of it, like
Yeah.
the aftermath of it. Like a person who was affected by it. I
Yeah.
hope he doesn't cry seeing this, but
But I feel like he's gonna watch it.
he's definitely
He's gonna watch
yeah,
it.
he'll see it.
Do you think? I think any like all of my guests that come on, like also I feel like so many of them are like since they're so young.
Right.
And also like most young people are not asked to come on the podcast, and like usually you have to be like a celeb or
I'm
something.
honored.
No, yeah. No, but most of the time, like my friends and their parents are like, "Oh my god, you got invited!" Especially when we like have like this really nice setup and like we put the effort in. It's like it's really cool for like a parent to see. Like I would love to watch my kids' episode,
Right.
like just in case, not too. But that's so cool because the next question I was going to ask you was talking about your best friend. Wow.
Ask it.
Okay, so the way that I phrased it was like I saw you perform live. You mentioned that you lost your best friend in a car accident. How did you maintain your grit when you were going through a loss? That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
It's so
a very good
sad.
question.
No, but still, but like also, was your dad's best friend alive while you were like had already like while your dad already had you?
Yeah, for yeah.
So you experienced your dad like going through grief while his best friend passed away.
Right.
Okay. How recent was it?
It was pretty close. So like close to 18 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. So 18 years ago.
Right.
That's when it happened?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were like even like you were a baby.
Yeah,
if
pretty
anything.
much.
Yeah.
I was fairly young, but I mean, it's.
But
How do
it's
you
so
ever
much.
get over
Yeah. There's
losing
also I feel like a best friend. Like I have a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and her and I like already decided like we're gonna be like till the end.
Right.
You know,
Right,
and
yeah.
like having a best friend like that is like if I lost her, like she's even told me because also we grew up in a way like we knew each other since we were like 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If we already talked about like my friend already told me that, like if I ever lost you, I don't know what I would do. I don't think there could be much worse. Like I don't know what I could do because also we were the type where like even when the bullying and like all we saw each other through all of our phases, you know, and like also she was basically like raised in my house because also she was an only child. We live in the same neighborhood, but she moved to Hialeah recently, like 4 years ago. But like no, yeah, but like 4 years ago, she recently moved, and we would literally go over to each other's house every day. And like it would be the type where she would like literally her mom would drop her off, and she would like stay there at my house for a week. And like we taught her how to fold towels and like the basic stuff. And
So
like
you
she
grew up
calls
together?
no, we were like literally like her mom's like my mom. We would go on trips together. Like she's an only child, and her parents would want someone to come.
Right.
And it's like that type of thing where it's like even if I feel like if I lost her, I can't even imagine that.
It's dark to think about.
That's
for sure.
crazy.
And that's exactly why I wrote it.
I think the way you did it was so beautiful.
Like,
It was so beautiful.
I hope you don't hate me.
I don't.
I'm telling you. Okay.
Why would I hate you?
For saying that, I killed your question.
No, you didn't. Oh yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
No, but
maybe.
it's still a beautiful concept, and the fact that you even did that for your dad.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly why I wrote it. If you can count your actual really like the people that are going to be with you no matter what, if you can count them on your hand, that's
enough.
It's beautiful.
That's
enough.
really no. I have
And I don't know
like
what
I have
I'd
a
do if I
couple
lost
rare
them.
guys, and I'm super happy to have like lucky to have them because
Exactly.
I feel like something that like not everyone has. How do you say it? Not everyone has the what is it called? It's like the luxury of having a best friend.
Right.
Like not everyone has one, and it's such a like a crazy thing like to have. I don't know. I feel like it was a really cool concept, and the way that you did it, like you were. But do you have a best friend?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what I'd do if I lost him. That's exactly what
How
I
long have
wrote.
you known him?
I've known him. He's my cousin. Does that count?
Okay.
Yeah, my whole life.
That works. But also it's family. So
His mom is like my second mom. My mom is like his. I've taken
Okay,
pictures
cute.
of him.
Okay, cute.
That's like my.
That still counts.
Right.
Yeah.
And a few other best friends I've known them
Yeah.
6-7 years.
But also you have to also consider that with me, like since I'm adopted, I have a totally different like thought of family, you know. And also I knew my best friend when my sisters were like brought into our house.
Yeah. I wish you heard my adoption pieces. I have pieces.
You can send it to me,
I'll send it to you.
or like you can recite it. I don't know.
I'll
After this.
Yeah, right.
But
I'll show it to you.
No, that's awesome. I love that. So you did kind of cut my question,
Mm.
but it's okay.
Okay.
But we got into like a cute.
We
made it work.
side
It's cute.
segment.
No, but it's cute. I love it though. So we're gonna go into this next section. This is a new section that I decided to add to the podcast.
Okay.
It's called Dear Dreamer.
The guinea pig.
Yeah, but it's really nice. So basically, on Instagram, I posted this kind of question for people to pick your brain, kind of giving a little description about you, and like these are all from people that wanted to hear these things about you.
Right. Okay.
So it's basically dear dreamer. Also because they're dreamers, we're dreamers.
Right.
So it's like a little cute.
Okay.
So it's called dear dreamer. So dear dreamer, what does poetry allow you to say that everyday conversation doesn't?
Oh, it's directed to me.
Yes, to you.
Oh wow.
Maybe people wrote these to you.
What's the question?
Okay. So, dear dreamer, what does poetry allow you to say that everyday conversation doesn't?
You said we'd be getting deep questions. That's deep.
No, we're doing
I gotta think about it.
We're doing it in a nice way, though. Like, I'm not like stabbing you.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I actually like the question. I want to give a good answer. Who I am. Right.
Tell me more.
I I wouldn't be who I am if I wasn't able to write poetry. I feel like my poetry wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for me, right? That's nice, but I can't talk about the things I write about with people because I don't know. When you're in the moment, you can't think to say certain things or you can't phrase it right. But when you're writing, you have the time to put all your thoughts and your brain in who you are.
To be like very intentional.
Right, exactly. And that's what I think is beautiful about poetry. That you get to be meticulous. You have the luxury of being you and your voice to be heard. Everybody wants their voice to be heard. And any poem is beautiful. Any poem is a work of art. And you write something and it's you. It's your creation, your baby, and you get to share that with other people. And it's beautiful. It's what I love. That's what I love about poetry. I share with other people and they see something click. They see the line at the beginning and the end. The way you saw my piece about my dad's friend. Piece. You saw all the basketball references. You saw how it all clicked.
Yeah.
That's what I love about poetry.
Also, did you get freaked out when I came up to you saying that I was like a fan of you?
No, not at all. I thought it was funny.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah.
No, it's
I love it, yeah.
But look where we are. So we're like, it's interesting.
We're fans of each other now.
No.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yes, I am. You're like one of the coolest people I met. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Yeah. The conversation we just had, I'm
gonna die. I don't know how to take like compliments. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so sweet. So that was really beautiful to say that. It's very cool. I love that.
Good enough answer?
Beautiful answer.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Okay, so dear Junior, have you ever written a poem that revealed something you didn't expect? What happened?
They revealed something I didn't expect.
Or like something that you like found out while you were writing it up. Like you're like, oh my god,
man, I didn't
know I felt this way about this thing, or
yeah. You don't mind if I get into adoption, right?
Go for it.
I was commissioned to write a piece about adoption because I was doing it
for the nonprofit.
Right, for ChildNet. It's a nonprofit where it's a foster care nonprofit. They have homes, they do connections, they do family reunions.
I need to connect with them. That's so awesome.
I have some contact info. Seth has them too, but I was commissioned to do the piece, and I'm here writing. I'm like, man, I've known very few people who have gone through the system, and how can I write about this experience? And I think to myself, I'm doing a bunch of research and everything. I'm like, man, because we need a research for home sometimes. I'm doing, man, like I see myself adopting. So I wrote a poem about having a daughter and like adopting a daughter. And every time I perform the poem, it makes me want to do that when I'm older now too.
Oh, I love that.
That's something
I think adopting is so underrated. Like even at work, you know the crazy thing that happened? I was at work and there was this lady that was getting an Uber Eats order, like super random, right? And she came and she was talking about like asking me where I was from. Because like the order was taking a second. And, like I was in the server station and she was just chilling and I asked her if she wanted water. And, like, the general stuff. And she asked me about like adoption and was like, where I was from.
It's a crazy coincidence of a question.
No, but she asked me where I was from.
Oh.
But the thing is, it's really random because like I can tell you where I'm biologically from and how I was raised.
Okay.
So I always get like that question because like, I could say that I'm Cuban and Uruguayan, where I'm like, that's how I am biologically, and that's like why I look the way I look.
Right.
But I was raised Puerto Rican, and my dad's like from Ohio, like American.
Oh, okay.
So it's different. So I say that all the time because like that's how I explain where I'm from, and it's super. So when people are just like, but also I'm so comfortable with the word adoption. I'm like, yeah, I'm adopted. This is where I'm from biologically. This is like how I was raised. And then she started talking to me and like, oh, me and my husband really, really want to adopt a little girl. What do you think about it? And I'm like, do it.
Right.
And I'm like, it's crazy. But anyway, tell me.
That's actually a really nice story.
It's cute, right?
Yeah.
Adoption's such a beautiful thing, and I feel like
I
people
agree.
don't give it enough thought.
Right. It's
Yeah.
underrated in a sense.
Especially for how much people pay for like IVF and like all these medicated
Right,
things,
exactly.
and I'm like,
They try so hard to have their
and it's so
own.
much money, and it's not even guaranteed, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. But tell me about the problem with the little girl.
I wanna. This world is so. This world, and I'd rather take care of a child who needs that rather than bring one into this world.
I get that.
Right.
I feel like-
It's kind of a grim way of looking at
I
things.
feel like the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm just like, I don't want to have kids. I want to have, like, I
Right.
just want to adopt.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's like, that's having kids, but I don't want to, like, have kids.
And even like a kid that's older, like
Yeah.
nobody does that enough either.
Yeah, that's really valid.
We kind of took a sad turn, but didn't we?
Not really.
Interesting turn.
It's an interesting term, and it's real. I feel like it's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be sad, it's just something that's not talked about enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
So, yeah, that's a really cool way to say it, though. I really like that. Dear Dreamer, what poets made you fall in love with poetry? So you already answered.
I can I can give a
You can say more
in-depth
if you
answer. So my mom and Asia, but also my dad likes to make this joke that he's a published author or a published poet because there's this one book out there that has 5 lines of his,
Beautiful.
like a haiku, or not 5 lines, like 3 lines. It's a haiku. He's like, oh, I'm a published poet, but counting if we're
Your dad
counting
has
him.
poetry too?
But he has that, and so he's another poet I look up to in a sense. So just having a family as a support system, I feel like that's very.
I can tell, I feel like I can get a lot of your dad's personality just from like him saying,
You met him.
For like, not much.
He's a goofy.
He's a goofy guy.
Yeah,
And
he's
he had
goofy.
like a fedora.
He had a fedora on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Who wears a fedora? The coolest people ever wear fedora.
you could say that.
Right. That's
You could
definitely
say
a way
that.
to say it. Yeah.
They're definitely going to be interesting. Like, there's definitely character there.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I feel like to wear a fedora, you have to have some character.
Yeah. You have to have a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would say that. Cool.
You don't like fedoras?
Your dad was also wearing like a plaid fedora.
He was wearing a plaid fedora. That's true.
So I'm saying, like, I don't, because I feel like when I think cool, I think nonchalant. You know? But then when you see like a plaid fedora, it's not giving nonchalant,
Right.
it's giving like interesting. You know what I mean? You're not going to hear this. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not like trying to be horrible about your like style. That's just, no, but I just feel like you didn't seem nonchalant. I'm sorry to tell you.
He'll actually appreciate that.
Yeah, he didn't seem nonchalant.
Yeah.
I feel like nonchalant people are like, it's why does everyone nonchalant care about something?
Right. Why does everybody want to be nonchalant?
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole
other thing.
right,
Like,
true.
why do you want to? One of my friends, she posted about this, and she filmed here, but her episode wasn't like aired, and she always posted about like, why are you nonchalant? Live your life.
Right.
Like on her story, and
Yeah.
she does fashion, and she's really like, she's literally like my friend crush. Like, she was my friend
Yeah.
crush, and now we're like kind of friends now.
Okay.
But like, she's so busy that we never have time to hang out. And so I like, she's so cool, and she talks about like how she's like, why are you like nonchalant? Live your life.
Right.
Anyway, but she's super cool.
Well, you two dabble in fashion too.
She's dabbles more in fashion than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dabble.
Yeah. I like styling things, but I'm not like fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's do the last one. Dear Dreamer, do you believe that every poem has to be honest, even if it's not about your experiences? This is a really good question.
Perfect.
Because
That's
it's
what we
like,
just talked about.
so it's wow.
100%.
It eats.
100%. I feel like it's
Like, you have to be honest about what goes on.
right. Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's so hard to write a
fake
fiction.
poem.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
fiction poem, or even a poem that's true about yourself. That's very difficult. I find it easier to write poems about other things, and to be completely honest about.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard because also I feel like, how do I mention it? I feel like there's a way, like, because also I feel like your depiction of yourself is constantly changing, and also I feel like everyone's constantly like questioning themselves. So writing something about yourself is like very like sometimes it's like, who am I to like write and put on paper?
Especially people in my generation, who you are is constantly changing. Some people go their whole lives without figuring out who they are as a person. Maybe
Yeah.
some people say that's the point of life, finding yourself. This whole idea of finding yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. but being as honest as you can.
But I feel like people are just like constantly finding different versions of themselves.
Right.
A lot of it.
Or maybe we are constantly changing.
We are. We always are.
Yeah.
Like even when we were talking about it, like in like one of my honors classes, and we were saying like the person that like 'cause all of our professors are married, and they were talking about like, oh, the person, were you the same person like that you were when you got married? Absolutely not. Or like just in general, like I feel like depending on like who impacts your life, the things that happen. Because I feel like also like do you think that you're the same person that like you are after like when you met your girlfriend versus who you are now? Do you think you've changed? Yeah. So you're constantly changing because there's so many different variables. You know, it's like it's also like when you go off to college, you change. Your atmosphere is going to be different.
Right.
You're not going to be with your parents. You're probably going to be like independent.
Right.
It's all depends on like where you're at. So it's having all of these variables, I feel like I can understand why it's so hard to like put yourself down because I couldn't.
It's very well said too.
But you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're always changing.
Yeah.
It also depends. Like also like little things can change you. Like even if you move somewhere else, you're a different person.
Would you say that there's even a yourself to find?
I feel like when someone says like who they are, like who am I feel like there's things at your core that are like characteristics that will never leave. Like it's like your values and what you find important that will never leave. You know? Of course, like, but I'm saying talking about core values, not like dumb crap, you know?
Right.
Like friends, family, like with me, like I'm really into like giving to others and community. That will never change.
Right.
No matter who or what I get like encountered by, that will never change, and that's who I am.
But whether you like to play the saxophone, that can change.
That doesn't care.
Yeah.
That's like,
That's
who cares? Who cares? If something can change in like 2 years, who cares?
Yeah.
Or like, it doesn't really matter, you know? It's like, if it's not like those core values that you have, like who cares?
That goes back to family. Family should be a core value.
Yeah, that family. Yeah, and that's why I feel like the thing with, how do you say it? Like, I feel like I want to go back to foster care saying with that because I feel like with those kids, and I hate like how they're not like so like under talked about, like they're like not very relevant because of like how they don't have family, and like imagine like going through your life with like no home base. That's like meaning that like you feel like you don't know who you are and you have no value.
Right.
Like that's like that at its core. Yeah.
So
that was deep. That was deep.
That was
I will say that.
Very deep.
No, but that's something that I say because people are just like, oh, they're damaged goods. They don't even know who they are. They were never taught who they are. And even like,
where they came from.
Yeah. It's really rough. Which is kind of why I started like doing what I do. So, but I would love to connect with the nonprofit that you said about.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you some contact information.
Very cool.
After, yeah. That's why you did the whole nonprofit and everything and try to get back. Because
that's kind of how I started.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even in like the Jason Taylor Gala, like the big thing.
Yeah.
Would they have poets that like make the videos for the like that write the poem? Do you know Naya?
I do.
Yeah. So Naya wrote mine.
Oh really? Okay.
Then I met her and we went to lunch and it was like
That's awesome. The Community Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
We're talking about the same thing.
Yes.
I wrote a poem for the 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wrote Slane's?
Yes.
Was that the celebrity?
That was the baseball player. He was 2 years ago. It was not the Udonis Haslam one, the one before that. Yeah.
That was very cool. I still talk to him, dude. That's so awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love his wife. His wife. I think I was more excited to meet his wife than him.
Yeah. Well, they're both accomplished people.
They're both awesome.
Yeah.
But also like I feel like with Yudi, everyone's like, oh, my dad's like a Heat fan. He met him. He like it was crazy.
Really?
He was like afraid to touch him.
It's crazy.
Because, like,
He's a legend. He's a Heat fan.
No, he is. He's awesome. And then I talk a lot because his foundation is like very like family based.
Yeah.
So like I speak a lot with his sister, and like I have her phone number and we talk all the time. And yeah, I'm so good. I don't know. That was a crazy night for me. That was like oh my god, I don't belong here. And like I was like crashing out. I was crashing out. I was like, Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, it's like when you're like your mind's blown.
Mhm.
Like, it's also, yeah, it was like an also massive gala. Like,
Yeah,
gorgeous, everyone big gowns, everyone's like these crazy sports player. Eugene had his table.
Yeah.
I was awarded next, but
That must have
it
been
was
a
enough.
really
It was enough for
big
me.
deal for you, yeah.
That was insane. And also all of my friends, and I got to bring like my best friend with me, and like all of them. It was crazy. But anyway, back to business.
Mhm.
So now we're gonna move on with the dream. So this is talking about all the things that you see as your like end goal, like what you see your final destination as. Also, this is totally variable. Like, it doesn't have to be one final destination that you see.
Mhm.
But I want to like kind of like pick your brain about it. So describe the perfect day in your dream life.
Waking up, seeing it's I don't know, kind of what everybody wants, but whatever I wanted to.
Just sing it.
Yeah, waking up, seeing my wife making breakfast, seeing my kids playing with action figures, not iPads.
No iPads.
Right,
No
no
iPads.
The action figures, looking out, seeing the beach.
You want to live like beachfront.
Yeah, absolutely, right by the water. And then going off, doing something I actually like, not working in an office, being out and about, but still doing something, important, helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Then going to bed on time. No, hitting the gym and going to bed on time. That's
Ooh, what is on time for you?
Before 12. Let's be reasonable. Before 12.
You know, I'm like an old lady. I go to bed like 10:30.
No. Really? What time do you wake up?
7:38.
Well, they say temptation lives at night, so, I mean, you're doing something right.
No, but I've been getting up, like, I've been sleeping in, so it's been like 8:30.
Okay.
My friends are, like, my
I
friends,
could never do that.
no, my
I'm
friends
wide
tell me,
awake.
like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
like, are you sleeping in?
Right. No, you'll be at dinner and it's 9:30. You're like, all right, I gotta get to bed.
No, because like, my family doesn't really eat dinner together. Is that crazy?
Well, I mean, well, that's a different conversation. But you never go with friends or anything.
But that's different. I'm not like.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable.
That's old lady.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's really bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
But I'm saying, like, I usually go to bed at 10:30. Like, if I have nothing else to do, I'm like, whatever. But I have stayed up late, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, I tried my best. Like, in my routine, it's 10:30. Also, continue. So, you said hitting the gym, going to bed all the time.
Right.
You're a night gym person?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's proven better for your muscle growth
Okay.
to do it later in the day rather than in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then taking protein powder right before you go to bed.
Oh, because the gains it.
Right, but also your sleep has a major factor in doing it.
Mm.
Yeah, sleep is very important, but yeah, that's my ideal day, for sure.
That is really cool. So does money play a role in it? Do you expect yourself to be like extremely rich or just like it's like, you know what? Like, I'm comfy. I have my stuff.
Yeah, live comfortably for sure. I don't want to be super loaded.
Scrapping for like scraping for cash.
No, I don't want to that either. But you hear all these.
No, literally, I would be so surprised when you guys came on. It's like, I want to be broke.
Like, I want to be on the street.
No one's striving for big things. You know?
Right.
I'm like, oh, you that's your dream.
Yeah. I want to wonder where my next meal is.
Yeah, live with the rat.
Right. Comfortable, comfy, living comfy. That's the dream.
Awesome. Do you like see yourself like traveling? Or you don't like travel? Anywhere. Do you have like any travel spots?
Yeah, but nowhere where I don't like history or anything, so I'd go somewhere like weird, like Iceland. See the scenery there.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
Iceland's very peaceful.
Very peaceful. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that about it. Where would you go? Rome?
I want to go to like all the spots though. Like I want to go to,
everywhere.
I want to go to like Bali.
Mm.
I want to go to. I want to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
I want to go to like. I really want to go to like France. I want to go to Europe, like a bunch of places. I really want to go to Australia.
That's the bugs there. You seen the. Yeah.
Also, I feel like the people are gonna be so hysterical.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm old enough or like drinking age, I'm probably gonna cut this out. But I'm saying like when I'm in drinking age, I think drinking with Aussies is gonna be crazy.
Because they probably go crazy. I mean, they hang around kangaroos.
And they're all like, and also like, imagine like they already sound like their accent is crazy.
Right.
So like imagine like,
adventurous.
Yeah. And also, did you know that Australia is made of all like criminals?
Really?
Yeah, because basically the origins of Australia, like I know that this like I don't know who, I think it was like Britain.
Oh.
They're British like prisoners, and then they started like Australia was like the prisoners that like escaped. So all of them are like related to like criminals.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That's actually super.
Isn't that fire?
Yeah.
So you have to go now.
You know, there's a hole in the ozone there. Did you know that?
What do you mean a hole?
Like in the ozone in the sky.
So it's like really, the air is probably.
Not the air, but the sun and everything. Yeah.
Where? In Australia.
There's like every corner has like maybe you'll cut this out. Skin cancer clinics and all that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Ooh, that is so yucky.
Yeah, scary. The world.
I think you're making me rethink my choices.
No, it's cool for vacation. You get to see kangaroos. Why not?
Yeah, oh my god, they're aggressive.
They're very aggressive, but if you look at them, they're cute.
Yeah, from afar.
From afar.
Yeah.
Very afar.
Also, I feel like what's another place? I really want to go to like London at least once. I want to go to a lot of places. I feel like I'm gonna study abroad everywhere. That's why I love FIU.
But yeah, they have a lot of study.
There's a ton of study abroad, like Tokyo, Japan,
Spain.
Like friends took a full year in Spain.
Really?
And they have like what's another one, like the Czech Republic. Yeah. So that's where I would go. I would go to those places. But a lot of places, like I would just say like, oh cool. Like I can see myself traveling a lot. So you just want like a comfy, cool life with like married kids.
Yeah. The whole 9 yards.
Very cool. I love that.
You see that for yourself too?
I definitely see myself married.
Yeah.
Down the road though.
Yeah.
Like married, like later.
7, 8 years, 10, somewhere in that range. That's my.
Married in like 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Yeah, but like having kids like 30.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not ready.
Financially ready.
I'm not enough financially, mentally. I just finished becoming a kid. Like I just finished being one. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Becoming a kid, that's funny. No, but I just finished being one. That's crazy. Last question. What piece of advice would you give someone looking to follow in your footsteps? It can either be in poetry or just like in general in life. Like someone that's planning on going, I don't know, like to FSU.
You know, I've always been wanting to ask that question. I've always wanted to ask that question. Yeah.
I just like propose.
Right, yeah. Accomplishing dreams here.
Beautiful.
To never let doubt consume you. To continue doing what you love, regardless of what people say. And if you, I know everybody says it, but I mean it has some truth to it. If everybody's saying it, if you follow what you love, it'll open doors for you. Yeah, it'll open doors for you. If you be yourself unapologetically, it'll open so many doors for you. If you're not afraid to still continue doing what you love, even if it's on the side. So a lot of people don't like their jobs, but they use their jobs to fund the dream. Right. If you keep doing what you love, that your life is fulfilled. So I mean, if there's somebody out there who was in my shoes at one point when I was nervous about continuing to write, I was thinking about stopping because the competition was too subjective, or considering stopping to do music because I'm not Drake or I'm not right all these other people. I kept doing it, and that's one of the biggest things that matters to me the most. So that's mine.
That is so awesome. I did not expect you to get like you fully like moved.
Thought about it, right?
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. Very true. Very cool. I love that. So we're at the end.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I know. We got comfy, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my legs are gonna be so numb. last but not least, is there anything you want to promote? Anything that you want to say that you're up to?
I'm off to college. I mean, I have a Instagram, Modia_music. I do my poetry and everything there.
Awesome.
Devin Modia on my Instagram too.
The baby picture is so cute, by the way.
Yeah,
The baby
you
picture,
saw it?
hold on.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, oh my god, this kid.
I'm convinced I'm the one who started that. I have a real bad idea that I'm the one that did. I'm probably not, but
I'll let you believe that.
yeah. I'll be delusional.
You can still believe it.
Right. I'll be delusional. But yeah, no, I still do music. I have posted on there.
That's awesome. Beautiful.
Everyone follow this podcast too. I'll promote that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It means a lot. So, yeah, I think that's it. We're just gonna sit back.
Awesome.
Awesome. So, bye, dreamers.
Bye.
Late night girl talks.